Good day, everyone. I am Donna B. Belatero, and I will be the last reporter for today's class. My topic is about education, three modes of authentic assessment. But before that, let's get to know what is authentic assessment. Authentic assessment is an assessment that measures students' use of higher level thinking skills to demonstrate their knowledge in real life or classroom based situations, rather than their ability to memorize and repeat back facts. It allows flexibility in demonstrating knowledge. In other words, we can match the assessment to the needs of the individual student. Now, let's get to the point, which is three modes of authentic assessment. Authentic assessment makes use of three models of assessment. First, observation. Second, performance samples. Third, actual performance. The first model of authentic assessment, which is observation. This includes the date and the information that the teacher collects from daily work. The teacher will conduct an observation to the students. He or she will observe the performance and the attitude of the student during and after the class. Take note, during and after the class. After the observation, the teacher can be able to identify the weakness and the strength of the students. In other words, the teacher will know if the students excel or the students need some improvements. The role of the teacher is to assess the students and to help the students improve themselves into a better one. The second mode of authentic assessment is performance samples, tangible results that demonstrate student achievement. In this mode, the teacher will assess the student's performance or the product. The teacher will let the students pass a portfolio after the semester or year. In this condition, the teacher can determine if the student's performance is developing. The third mode of authentic assessment is actual performance. Tests and measures students' performance at a specific place and time. The teacher can assess the students by conducting actual performance such as singing, dancing, and acting. And for math students, the teacher can ask if you can demonstrate or solve a problem in a blackboard or like that. By that, the teacher can determine the behavior of the students during the performance. Observations-based assessment tools. Here are some guidelines. First, observe not only one but all students. We should not only observe one student, it should be all so that all of our students would excel. Second, observation must have as frequent and as regular as possible. We must observe our students not only in one day, but as possible, it should be regular. In that condition, we will really know if our students is improving every day. So third, observation must be recorded in writing. If we will conduct a report, we should write it in a clean bond paper. In that case, we can compare the performance of the students if our students is improving. Fourth, observations should cover both routine and exceptional occurrences. The teacher also include routine and exceptional occurrences in observation. When we say routine, it is the behavior of the students in everyday chores such as the sweepers, gatherer, and many more. Exceptional occurrences is the students who clean the room voluntarily. Like for example, the students will keep trashes in the yard even if the teacher did not ask for that. Fifth, reliability of observation records is enhanced if multiple observations are gathered and synthesized. So the first observations-based assessment tool is developmental checklist. Is an observation tool which requires the teacher recorder to describe the traits or learning behaviors being assessed. For us to understand it more, we have some examples. Example of individual developmental checklist. As you can see, we have this, it is a child's developmental checklist. So here On this side, we have the gross motor domain, and of course the some comments and of the teacher. Next, example of group developmental record sheet. So as we can see, there is a class teacher, the P, W for working scientifically, K and U for knowledge and understanding, grading is emerging, EME, expected, EXP, exceeding, EXC. So there are pupils here, so it's called group developmental record sheet. Another example is example of observation checklist. So it is an observation checklist of a student that is also a leader. The second observations-based assessment tool is interview sheet. Another observation tool which is also called conference recording room. Interview sheet consists of a list of questions the teacher intends to ask and space for recording the student's answer. So here is an example of an interview sheet. Now let's proceed to the second mode of authentic assessment, which is performance samples assessment tools. Portfolio. A compilation of pieces of evidence of an individual's skills, ideas, interests, and accomplishment. The purpose of portfolio. A. The teacher can assess the growth and development of the students at various levels. B. Parents are informed of the progress of their children in school. C. Instructional supervisors are able to evaluate the strength and weakness of the academic program. I think it is not new to us what is portfolio, because we have made portfolio in our high school or senior high and even in college. So portfolios come in many forms. It is not just the portfolio that we only know with, but it is also come in many forms. It is a compilation of notebooks filled with documents, notes, and graphics. There is a compilation of written assignments, a compilation of journal entries, a compilation of completed tests, a compilation of artwork, a compilation of lab reports, a compilation of physical projects or dioramas or models. It is a compilation of other material evidence of learning progress, and it is a compilation of self-reflection written by students. Now we have in the part of the third model of authentic assessment, which is actual performance assessment tools. The first actual performance assessment tool is performance checklist. It consists of a list of behavior that make up a certain type of performance. It is used to determine whether or not an individual behaves in a certain way, usually desired, when asked to complete a particular task. So, here is an example. Performance checklist in solving a mathematics problem. So, identifies the given information, identifies what is being asked, uses variables to replace the unknown, formulates the equation, performs algebraic operations, and obtains an answer. So it is an example, again, it is an example of a performance checklist. The second actual performance assessment tool is an oral questioning, an appropriate assessment method for actual performance when the objectives are A. To assess the student's stock knowledge, B. To determine the student's ability to communicate ideas in coherent verbal sentences. So here is an example of an oral questioning. This is the assessment tool, sample questions for oral questioning. So the teacher will prepare a oral questioning sheet so that the teacher will ask these questions to his or her students. So I think we are not new to oral questionings because we all seen teachers who have an oral question, who have an oral questions, like the teacher will ask if what is our topic yesterday, so to assess the student's knowledge, and also the teacher will ask questions during the discussion, so the teacher will know the idea or ideas of the students. The third actual performance assessment tool is observation and self-reports. Use a tally sheet as device when used by the teacher to record the frequency of student behavior, activities, or remarks. As you can see in the PPT, here is an example of a tally sheet. So even though it's a little bit blurry, but we can see, but still you can see that it is a tally example of a tally sheet. So the fourth actual performance assessment tool is self-checklist, a list of several characteristics or activities presented to the subjects of a study. So as you can see, here is an example of a self-checklist. I think we have seen a self-checklist when we are still on, I think, elementary, or also in high school or something. I think that will be all for my topic. Thank you. But before I end, I just want to ask if there are any questions, comments, or violent reactions before I end. But if there are none, so that will be all. And these are my references for my topic for today.